Hello everyone, this is Ratisha. I'm sharing with you my instruction plan for differentiated instruction. I hope you enjoy it. I first wanted to share with you a little bit about my own educational context. I currently teach pre-kindergarten to 20, 3, 4, and 5-year-old children. My program receives funds from the federal and state government, as well as private paying families. Our curriculum is play-based, meaning our philosophy respects the natural progression of learning that children make during play opportunities. Our philosophy also considers the environment as the third teacher. We often use it to differentiate the students' experiences. We are also a community of learners. My classroom climate is respectful, inclusive, and we are all learning how to be students. Our philosophy also includes teaching the whole child. I will uncover this a little bit more in the next slide, but basically this means that early childhood educators look at how each child develops physically, emotionally, socially, and cognitively. My current program is also making strides to strengthen our engagement with families and learning. We believe that families are the very first teachers to children. Teaching young children means looking at readiness in a different way. Readiness in my setting refers to whether children are ready to learn. Looking at the whole child, there are many developmental domains to consider. This can be a challenge because I'm starting with an unknown. I do not know what types of social or learning experiences they have had when they walk through the door. There are no learning goals that follow them from the previous grade level. Essentially, I'm teaching my students how to learn, how to sit in a group, how to play with others, how to listen and understand a book, how to control their impulse, to count, hold a crayon, have a conversation, and even how to jump. Readiness to learn is dependent on cognitive skills that are not typically fully developed at this age. This can be a struggle if I didn't differentiate my instruction all of the time. Instead of requiring each student to meet my expectations, differentiation is about adjusting my practice to meet their readiness for a skill. As I mentioned, my program considers families as a very important partner. Families are needed to begin learning about each student. A questionnaire is provided to each family upon enrollment into the program. As I mentioned in my paper, going forward to next school year, I'm going to deepen this practice by having a face-to-face conversation with families. This will help me in creating a learner profile for each child and will also begin a relationship with each student's number one supporter. Gardner's multiple intelligence tells us that we need different mediums to acquire knowledge. Environment is differentiated in learning centers to meet different learning styles. Most early childhood classrooms have centers for this reason: a math center for the logical, mathematical students, a writing center for those that are linguistic learners, and so on. Learning styles will also directly affect the successfulness of a lesson in a whole group or a small group. Some students in my class cannot yet function in a whole group, and for children who are kinesthetic learners, this can be difficult. It was with this struggle that triggered my change in how I plan to execute my small group instruction. With the need to adjust my approach to small groups, and with the current readiness level and interests of my current students, my instructional plan is focused on developing positive social relationships. I'm hearing a lot of statements from my students lately that include, "Are you my best friend? You're not coming to my birthday party." My students are interested in friendship, but lack the skills and understanding of what friendship is. There are many skills that go into being a friend. The activities that I have focused on does address some of them. I was able to plan my activities using this diagram on page 25 of Tomlinson's How to Differentiate Instruction in Mixed Ability Classrooms. A differentiated classroom consists of a range of different approaches to instruction. For example, my pre-assessment activity is planned for a whole group setting. This learning activity consists of a whole group discussion on friendship. The students will share their thoughts about what a friend is as my coworker records their answers. This activity will give me an idea of where each child's knowledge and understandings on friendship are. I plan on using small groups to teach skills and investigate some topics a little further. One of my lessons also includes an experience for individual children, with the goal of practicing and applying skills. I have also included an additional whole group lesson to share with others what happened in the smaller groups. Pictures that were taken during the small group activities will be shared with the whole group to reflect on what it means to be a friend. Children will be looking at each other, being kind, and sharing materials. Differentiated classrooms also share a balance between student selected and teacher assigned tasks. My classroom will continue to uphold this balance because of the time offered to explore centers. The teacher led activities will be done across a longer time span, not in one day. This is a different approach for me because small groups are mostly student led in learning centers. Small groups in my plan are more teacher led because my students need more direct strategies in learning skills. My first activity is for students who are struggling with expressive language. The content of this activity is not directly about relationships, but rather on the skill of language that is needed to form a relationship. I will work with one student at a time to model language through conversation about a common object. In this case, a set of story dice. I have included the strategies I will use while implementing this plan. They include modeling appropriate body language when talking, asking questions, and providing prompts. A different group of students will participate in an activity on conflict resolution. Since conflicts are a common experience in early childhood classrooms, the students are already aware of some strategies to use when a conflict arises. For this activity, we will use puppets to apply the strategies to solve a problem. This activity will provide an opportunity for this particular group to process what they have already been introduced to many times consistently. This will be an opportunity to apply what they have learned thus far. The students assigned to this activity will listen to and respond to the different emotions shared in a book. The students will then create cards that they might share with a friend who is feeling sad. This group of students has the strongest set of language skills, and the strategies used include asking questions related to emotions. One strategy also requires the students to evaluate and create new ways to help a friend feel better. While all the groups varied across different content standards, this is the only group to have a tangible product-based activity. My goals for continuing to learn more about differentiated instruction include being flexible. Every child will have a different level of readiness, and I will not let my expectations dictate where my students need to be. I will share what I have learned in this course with my co-teacher because I cannot do this alone. I will continue to research the most current information on differentiation to stay informed in my practice. This course has helped me to learn that it is possible to adjust the content, process, and product in such a way that my students still experience appropriate and authentic learning.